Hey everybody, this is Kenny C here from Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C. I'm joined with Bert, Walin Wolves Band, joining me right now. What's going on, man?
How you doing? Looking forward to a great interview here, and we've got quite a number of things going on. I feel we've got a great lineup and a great variety in our music.
That's great to hear, man. And I first heard of you and the group on Reverb Nation. I heard a couple of tracks, and I like what I hear. Is some good stuff that y'all got there, and I appreciate you calling in on behalf of the group. Let's go ahead and begin. How did this group came about? How did it all started?
Well, I've been playing guitar since I was about 15 years old, and I've been in bands all the way through my whole adult life as well. Um, I used to own a barbecue restaurant in Thomasville, Georgia, and we used to also host open mic nights and bring bands in whenever we could. And one night I brought this band in that was just started up called the Walin Wolves, and they did a real nice job. So when I brought them back a couple weeks later, two of the members didn't show up, so I sat in and played guitar with them, and we jived so well that we decided to create the new band. And it just grew from there. The harmonica player and I are the two original founders of the band, and we've had some changes in personnel since then, but I feel we've got a real good lineup right now, and we've got quite a variety in our music again. So this was back about 2009, so we've been together almost 4 years now.
That's awesome, man. Especially when, you join in. When the other groups, other members of the group were there, and talk about making the most out of an opportunity. And you've been part of the group since then, so that's definitely great to hear. So here's what I want to know, because you mentioned variety of music, and you know how people like to come up with, how do you best describe the band's music? Do you think it's more rock? Is it like alternative? Anything that you think best fits this group's music?
Okay, well, when I describe the band, I usually describe it as a party band, number one, and a dance band. We basically are a high-energy blues rock band that plays quite a variety of music. Like I said, we touch the blues genre very strongly. We do rock, we do classic rock, we do some reggae, we do some country, and even a little bit of jazz sometimes when it's called for at dinner parties and stuff. So, and then we also have our originals that we're starting to promote, and a new CD that we just came out with.
With that said, man, let's talk about this new CD and how was it working on this record?
Okay, the CD is actually a live cut of a festival that we headlined in Valdosta called the Valdosta First Annual Valdosta Blues Festival, and we headlined with about 8 other bands that followed us. And we had a recording engineer that was there doing sound, and he pretty much got everything that we did at that show on tape. And so we took those tracks and did the best we could with them. But they're basically, all our stuff is basically live shows. So we haven't done like a big studio thing where we redid mixes and where we had fancy engineers and added all kinds of sound. What you hear is what we really sound like.
That's definitely interesting. A lot of artists would prefer the studio work, but you guys are just first time around. Whatever happens, and y'all music do sound very good. And I guess for a lot of fans, a lot of people that listens to music, people would prefer the live music rather than listening to it on in studio, and
Right.
that's great to know.
Well, that's what we felt about it. We really like the idea of having live music out there so that people can really see and hear, what you're like. Um, if you make a mistake, you just keep rocking. You know what I mean? But it's worked out very good for us. We sell a fair amount of CDs at our shows, and we work very regularly. We've been number one in Tallahassee, Florida, for over 2 years now on Reverb Nation. And we've been in the top 10 in the country for quite a long time, also for about 1.5 to 2 years in the blues genre. So I'm very proud of the way we excelled and got to that status. It takes a lot of work and a lot of promotion, but I feel that Reverb is a good platform for independent artists.
And it's congratulations on that, by the way, to the group. How does that make you feel to know that you got a strong fan base on Reverb Nation and other social media sites? Sometimes I wonder when it comes to Reverb Nation, do you think that being ranked is based on the views? Is it based on how much your music is played per day? Like, what do you think about the criteria as it pertains to Reverb Nation?
Well, they've changed the criteria a couple times over the last few years, trying to come up with something that really makes sense. What they do now is they go by your current activity. So artists that were in the top for a long time years ago on the way they used to do it no longer stay on top unless they've got people listening to their music and actually physically interacting with the band on their social media. I think it's a relatively fair way to judge people. The upside of Reverb is it's a great platform for independent artists, and it allows you to get your music out there and become recognized. The downside is it doesn't really necessarily get you gigs, and a lot of people that you send RPKs to don't really pay attention to them. So you still got to get out there and hustle your act with different club owners and different venues so you can continue to work. There are some artists that are in the top that don't work at all. So I feel that we've pretty much earned where we're at because we work almost every week, with 2 or 3 gigs a week. So I think that speaks for itself in the way we're accepted. And we've had opportunities to go on tour, but the members of the band can't all go because they're tied up with regular jobs and families and stuff like that.
Well, let me just say, I've been on and off on Reverb Nation, considering that I focus mainly on Twitter and Facebook. But as artists like you and your group, Bert, it's the reason I'm back on Reverb Nation, listening to music. And I wished maybe there was a place for maybe internet radio stations like mine to, maybe a profile for radio stations per se, or maybe I need to come up with a new profile, whatever. But it's guys like you that got me back on Reverb Nation, and to network and to book artists for interviews, and to know that you guys, y'all been together for several years now, and I guess you can consider me a late bloomer as a fan of y'all's music. And it's great to see that artists like y'all do what y'all do for a living and do it very well, and the longevity that y'all have had. So as a newfound fan, it's great to hear y'all doing some good things.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate the fact that we met you, and I guess that's because of Reverb Nation. So in itself, it has made a lot of introductions for us. I answer on the average about 150 emails a day from different fans around the world, through Twitter, through Facebook, through Reverb, and all the social media that we're involved in. we get a lot of emails and a lot of activity. It still isn't necessarily making us any big profits at this time, but we're hoping that it will connect us to some backer or some, strong radio stations that are building up like yourself. And all we need to do is get more people listening to these great radio stations. Yeah, guys like you have put together a concept to help independent artists, and it's just a matter of getting more and more listeners to build up the band as well as the radio stations.
Absolutely, man. Like anything I can do to help as it pertains to getting your music heard, I'll definitely be happy to play y'all music on the show as much as I can. I pretty much have the freedom to play whatever music I want for the station, so that's a great sign, at least for me and for anyone that wants their music heard. So, Bert, let me ask you this: from a music standpoint, if you can have a dream collaboration with any artist, any genre, dead or alive, what would your dream collaboration be?
It would be with Buddy Guy, B.B. King, and Junior Wells. Because those are the guys that we really influence our music quite a bit. Buddy Guy is the most amazing guitar player in the world. The best blues artist that I've ever heard. B.B. King is way up there, and I actually had the opportunity to play with him back about 20 years ago when he was in our city in West Palm Beach, and the guitar player got in an accident on the way, and I happened to be there doing sound, and he heard me play, and he put me on stage with him, which was a great experience for me. And Junior Wells, his style of blues is unmatchable, and my harmonica player mimics him and has gotten a number of his licks through watching Junior Wells. And we're basically a harmonica and guitar-led blues band. That's our main bag and what we enjoy most. And then we pull up the classic rock and the other stuff that we do to keep people dancing. We're a high-energy act. We don't sit there and put people to sleep,
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, for anyone out there that wants to learn more about the band and the music, other than Reverb Nation, of course, people can listen to their music on Reverb Nation. What are some other areas people can get in touch with the group, as Facebook, Twitter, or any other websites people need to know?
We have a good internet presence. All you have to do is look up the Walin Wolves Band on Google. We're on Reverb Nation under the Walin Wolves Band. We're on Facebook with a band page and our music there under the Walin Wolves Band. We're on SoundCloud under the Walin Wolves Band. We're on Twitter under the Walin Wolves Band. That doesn't give you listening access, but it lets you know what's going on with the band. We've got over 10,000 Twitter followers now. We've also got over 6,000 Facebook followers. We're also on Google Plus, which doesn't really give you access to the music, but it has all our links. And we have 2 YouTube channels, one under Big Guns Bert and one under the Walin Wolves Band. And we've got probably over 100 YouTube videos up. So you can not only listen to us, but you can see us as well.
And my last question is, does the group have any upcoming shows, performances you would like to promote?
Oh, sure. Let's see. We're playing at the FSU Alumni Hall for a pregame downtown get down for the Seminoles on October 25th and again on November 1st. We're playing at a really nice club in Tallahassee called the Backwoods Bistro on November 8th. And the 22nd, 23rd, we're playing at El Petrillo in Quincy, Florida, and Oscars in Havana, Florida. And, of course, we've got more gigs following those. But if you want to keep up with our gigs, all you have to do is look at our show schedule on Reverb Nation, Or I forgot to mention we have a www.walinwolves.com site, which also has all our upcoming events and all our links to our other social media.
So everybody go check out all the websites that he mentioned, and also check out the shows. And it was great chatting with you. Thank you for joining me for this interview. And best of success goes out to the Wailing Wolves Band going forward. Thank you for your time, man.
Thank you. My pleasure. I'll be sending you some MP3s so you can play some of our music.
That will be awesome, man. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Please check out Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C, our live shows, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Saturdays on tmvcafe.com. For Bert, this is Kenny signing out. And thank you, everyone, for listening.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right. And we are... Oh, and also, shout out to the rest of the members of the Wailing Wolves Band. Shout out to Slim Shaw. Shout out to Mary D. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Dale. And shout out to Walin Bert. Shout out to the group, man. Wailing Wolves Band. Check them out. WailingWolves.com is their website. Check out all the links, upcoming shows.